The girl slammed the door in his face, not knowing she had just rejected the richest man in the country. Tunde Adewale was worth billions, owning luxury hotels and tech companies across Africa. But despite his wealth, he couldn't find someone who loved him for who he truly was. Women saw the suits, the cars, and the money, but never the man beneath. So one day, Tunde made a bold decision. He ditched the designer clothes, sold his image for a disguise, and started working as a motorcycle delivery guy. Dusty jeans, a faded t-shirt, and a helmet that covered his face. He was unrecognizable. That's when he met Zina. Zina was a young woman who worked a small bakery. She was kind, hard-working, and carried herself with quiet dignity. But life hadn't been easy. Her father was sick, and she worked long hours just to keep the family afloat. The first time Tunde delivered bread to her shop, she barely looked at him. She was too busy kneading dough, her hands covered in flour. But over the weeks, their conversations grew longer. She would offer him cold water on hot afternoons, and he would help her carry heavy flour bags without being asked. He noticed something rare. Zina never asked about money, never bragged about status. She laughed easily, and when she smiled, it felt like sunshine breaking through clouds. But there was a problem. One evening, Tunde overheard two of Zina's co-workers gossiping. "Why waste time talking to that broke delivery guy?" one sneered. "He probably can't even afford lunch." The other laughed. Tunde saw Zina's face fall. That night, he wondered, would she still see him the same way if she knew who he really was? A week later, Tunde invited her to a friend's party. She hesitated but agreed. When they arrived at a sprawling mansion, Zina froze. Inside, the crowd greeted Tunde like royalty. Confused, she whispered, "You know all these people?" That's when he smiled and finally told her the truth. "My name is Tunde Adewale, and I own this place. But the man you've been talking to all these weeks, the delivery guy, that's the real me." Zina's eyes filled with tears. "I don't care about your money," she said softly. "I liked you before I knew any of this." Months later, the bakery was booming with Tunde's investment, and Zina stood by his side, not as a charity case, but as his fiancée. Because in the end, the richest man in Africa found something money could never buy: true love.